Well, hey there, and welcome back for another Secondhand Opinions video. I'm Jason Alderman, the internet's favorite fat mouth fat ass, bringing you fat stacks of fucked facts. As the impeachment circus winds itself up, and I'm sure eventually out of control, Hillary decides to throw her attention-grabbing claw back into the media and tell the world that she's still thinking about running for 2020, that she, quote, has had many people pressuring her to join the race, unquote. Well, Hill Dog, I hate to tell you, listening to the voices in your head does not constitute peer pressure. Sweetie, jump in the race. We can't wait for you. Seriously, you lost your first go around. You tried to cheat your way to the top of your second go around, and you still got your butt whooped. You want to throw your hat back in the ring with Donald Trump? You think that you are more stable or considerable, more electable than any other Democratic representative? Oh, honey, as the Epstein shit falls down around you and your husband's ears, I don't think there will be any dissolutions left for you to hide behind. So, as the impeachment yo-yo circus brigade all winds itself up today, I figured we'd go ahead and take a look at if there was anything to be truly worried about behind any of this. How dangerous are the Democrats? What have they accomplished since Trump took office? And not a lot. I looked through, and we're going to thumb through some of these articles here, but I've Google searched. Obviously, Google is going to be anti-Trump biased to begin with. So they should show me stuff that's in your face. Trump sucks. We got this accomplishment done. Vox News. First article, Democrats in Congress are getting things done. Trump and Republicans are just ignoring them. In this article, it goes on to talk about how Trump released a tweet tirade on Thursday morning admonishing Democrats for not making enough progress on infrastructure, health care, veterans issues, yada yada. Trump is objectively wrong. House Democrats have been squandering time. In addition to their investigations, they've been passing legislation at a rapid clip. In all, the House has taken up 51 bills, resolutions, and suspensions since January, 49 of which they've passed. This includes a slate of bills to attempt to end the longest government shutdown in history. Trump impeachment circus doesn't count as being productive, people. Let's move on to the next bit of apologetics, shall we? CNN Politics, fact-checking Trump Sanders claim that House Dems getting nothing done. This was published in May 23rd, 2019, earlier this year. Washington CNN, while defending President Trump, Trump's decision to stop work on infrastructure legislation until House investigations into his administration stop. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders on Thursday morning argued on CNN that House Democrats have not accomplished anything legislatively. Sanders claimed that the House Democrats literally haven't gotten anything done since California Rep. Nancy Pelosi became Speaker in January. Sanders went on to suggest the House has not passed significant pieces of legislation that are going to change the course of this country. Trump echoed Sanders in the series, yada yada, their rebuttal to this. As for major legislation, the House has passed sweeping bills that would address ethics, campaign finance, and government reform, as well as bills that would seek to ban discrimination of people based on sexual orientation, creative universal background checks, keep U.S. in the Paris Agreement, and the climate change. Again, CNN, the House battling against Trump in this whole ridiculous theater of the strange is not actually productive for the country. You have to grow up. You have to get real. I'm trying, I'm not on your side, but I'm trying to be on your side in this video, looking for any reason to validate the efforts of the House outside of this impeachment to say, look, they're doing their job somewhere else. Maybe this is actually them addressing a facet of their job. But it simply isn't, and we know it. Moving on to the next little article here from PBS. House Democrats mark their first 100 days with wins, stumbles. From April 12th, 2019. Skip the blah blah blahs of it. As the Democratic freshman lawmaker around their first 100 days of their new majority in the House, they're taking stock of their accomplishments, noting the stumbles, and marking their place in the front line of resistance to President Donald Trump. Moreover, few of their bills will ever be signed into law. In fact, most are simply resolutions that are being panned by the Senate, where Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is providing a backstop with his Republican majority to keep the measures from ever making it to Trump's desk. If you table bullshit, don't ever expect it to make it to serious considerations. They're going to look at this and say, this is ridiculous. This is more anti-Trump rhetoric and BS. This is more of them trying to slant and tilt the table in their favor. Of course we're not passing this into law. Of course we're not going to move this forward for consideration. What have you actually done? Not, well, see, they've attacked Trump, and, well, it's Trump's fault they haven't done anything. An article from earlier this year in Newsweek. GOP leaders say Democrats have achieved nothing since taking over the House, but 100 bills await action in the Senate. Republican leaders have slammed Democrats for not getting enough done in the Congress, even though more than 100 bills passed this year by the House of Representatives currently sit at the GOP-controlled Senate awaiting action. House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy tweeted on Wednesday that Democrats are in a tailspin, that the leadership is out of touch. They have achieved practically nothing since taking over the House, and their obsession with impeaching this president is paralyzing any progress we could be making as a United States. Similar remarks were made by Donald Trump, the White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders on Thursday morning. More complaints that it won't pass the Senate. For the People Act, comprehensive packaging of reforms to expand voting rights, limit partisan gerrymandering, and limit the influence of donor money. Well, those things sound great, but up front I would say expand voting rights. You lost everything else you piggyback on giving illegal aliens the right to vote. When you tack on any amount of decent legislation to a piece of absolute bullshit legislation, the whole package becomes bullshit legislation. Let's just say I was in a position of power. Let me help you understand this a little bit better for some of you retarded lefties out there. Let's say I'm in a position of power and I say, let's make all schools for all students, for all peoples, free. I don't care if you're in America legally. I don't care if you're an American citizen. I don't care if you just hopped over the border and walked into college. All school for all students is all free. But everybody has to suck my dick once a month. You want your free school? If I hand this off to the Senate, do you think they're going to pass this legislation? It's free school for everybody, with a cost no one wants to pay, with a precursory expense that is so unreasonable and outlandish that it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter what I put on the piggyback of it. Free cars to go with your free school? Well, the government will tax everybody to death and they'll give you all the money. No, still not good enough? Free health care? Comes with a cost you're not willing to even address. It's ludicrous. So of course not. And claiming that I pushed this forward to Senate to be passed but got shut down because we're being obstructed. Ridiculous. Let's have another look at an article from ABC News. Headline, nearly halfway through the year, Congress has only passed 17 laws. What's their apologetics excuse? Major laws that the 116th Congress has passed include reopening government following the shutdown, bipartisan public lands measure, and changes to Medicaid. Okay, I don't know what the bipartisan public lands measure is or the changes to Medicaid, but I suspect the changes to Medicaid happen to affect illegal aliens because you haven't done shit for citizens here in America. Some of the other laws passed changed in the address of a post office in Charlottesville, Virginia, created an award for classified school employees like security officers and cafeteria workers, and clarified the grade of pay of podiatrists in the Department of Veterans Affairs. Well, gee, that's fucking great. I'm glad you're having a good effect for veterans and their feet. The rest of this is ridiculous bullshit. Who gives a fuck about the address of a post office in Virginia? What the fuck have you done for the country? Fuck all. Fuck all of what you've done for the country. Every fucking article is, I got a pocket full of bullshit and lint, I got this extra button and a paper clip, but no real substance. Or it's not our fault because we table horse shit and the real politicians tell us to fuck off. Los Angeles Times, divided new Congress is getting a little accomplished. One modifies pay for podiatrists working for the Department of Veteran Affairs. Another renames a veteran center in North Ogden, Utah. A third revises the charter of a National Future Farmers of American organization. Hey, I'm about the farmers. I'm about the feet for soldiers that we covered. What the hell are you doing for America? Leader McConnell has turned the Senate into a legislative graveyard for priorities the American people care about. Senate Democratic leader Charles, I see. Chucky Schumer says it's all the Senate's fault. We want to tack things on like free gay unicorn pony sprinkles with every school lunch. You guys are stupid, ridiculous. Nobody has any faith in you anymore. I'm looking to your news media, the people that back up your party, your bullshit salesman, your smoke and mirrors department. This is the best they got for anything productive you've done. You helped soldiers' feet. I think it's pretty accurate. Yeah, he told the Times they've been busy here in the first part of the Congress sending us things that have, shall I say, no potential in the Senate. Let me read that again. I think it's pretty accurate. Yeah, he told the Times they've been busy here in the first part of the Congress sending us things that have, shall I say, no potential in the Senate. And I understand there's a new majority. They want to lay out, how they feel about things. Passing a bill about how much you like Pepsi Cola is never going to make it past the Senate. Passing bills attached to voter rights for illegal aliens is never going to pass the Senate. Pretending that you're doing your job while pretending that the president is a bad guy and pretending that he did the corrupt and disgusting things that you did and pretending that you're going to get him on something and pretending that somehow all of this shit charade is going to lead to the impeachment of the president and some deranged democratic victory over the bad, evil orange man Drumpf. Keep pushing this shit. Please, your credibility is already shot to hell. I suspect you have less than a third of the populace on your side in any way, shape, or form. They're dwindling fast, bailing out. They're jumping ship. They don't have to go conservative. They're just not going over the cliff with you rejects. Democrats who voted for Donald Trump speak. I voted for... So I've run out of first-page articles on my news search, and I'm now stumbling into articles discussing why 25-year Democratic voters switched sides and voted for Trump. I was looking for what have the House Democrats done that's worth any of my attention in the last 3 years. At best, I get apologetics. Likely, I get lies. And at the end, I get, this is why I left the Democrats and went over here for Donnie. Well, alrighty, guys, let's all pretend like our opinions matter. Leave that shit in the comments below. Remember, this is YouTube, BitChute, social media, etc. So do all of the things.